Shout out to the Hype Magazine.
And we right here with the Hype Magazine. You already know what it is.
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the live session with the Hype Magazine. I'm your editor-in-chief, Jerry Doby, and today, you have no idea how much this means to me. I have the woman who sparked my entire career in media, Indy Brown Jones. She put me on for an amazing 2001, I believe it was. Sweet Oranges was my very first attempt at being a unit publicist for a feature film. And that segued into many more opportunities. And at each and every benchmark in my professional life outside of the military, it has been a woman who has given me an opportunity. They have helped me come up or given me my come up. It's when it was needed. And therefore, I want to take this opportunity to just say thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for the ignition and said I won't go through that, right? But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I always say, here it's a blessing to be a blessing. We're in the blessing business, and it's an honor to even be here with you today and see how much you've grown. And I'm so proud of you too. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. Woo.
Amen.
Very grateful. Anyway, have the amazing honor today alongside Miss Jones to have the one and only New York Times best-selling author, Mr. Carl Weber. And we're talking about his amazing series, The Family Business, which I'm an addict of. I have watched it on Netflix until it ran out. And now we're excited to say, hey, we got season 5 coming back, and just had a special premiere during this year's BET Awards that just passed. What an amazing tribute. Thank you for being with us, sir.
Thank you for having me, man. This is a great honor.
The honor is mine. The honor is mine. Of course, the man behind the lens, the director, Mr. Trey Haley. What an amazing career you've had, sir. The things that you've done. And as we discussed off air, obviously, we have crossed paths before, obviously on Sweet Oranges, I believe. And I didn't have direct engagement with you as back scenes, but we were talking about how much fun it is to have recirculated some of the stars from Sweet Oranges into productions moving forward. So it's an honor to have you as well.
Honor
Thank
to
you.
you.
Man, look. Y'all know if you watch, I'm not going to be proper. I'm just going to be me, okay? So y'all know any show that opens for me with boats and water is going to be like an amazing show. I'm a fan. I'm going to be glued to it, lean forward. Season 5 broke out yesterday, right?
Yes.
Officially.
Yes.
All right.
Officially.
And, yeah, we got to talk about the origins of success for the family business. It has captured the hearts of so many viewers. And, Carl, you wrote it. It's based on your series, your crime drama series. So let me ask you, please, first, what do you think makes the show, as it's translated onto the screen, so special and it keeps fans coming back year after year?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that America or Americans have a fascination with the mafia and different things like that. So when you take that fascination, The Godfather, Sopranos, we can go into other different shows, and you mix it with good old-fashioned, I don't want to call it evening soap opera, but the idea of it. Both myself and Indy, we grew up huge Dynasty and Dallas fans.
Yes.
I remember.
So when the whole idea behind the book came out, and we always, my team always wanted to do a TV show out of the books. we talked about what would be the one thing that's not done right now, and you know, the inner workings of the Sopranos, the inner workings of the Godfather. The fun part wasn't the killings; it was the family conversations, and the backroom deals and those type of things. So when you put that with family, and the beautiful thing about our show is we're intergenerational. There's somebody for young people, there's somebody for middle-aged people, older people. I mean, we're dealing with a family, and Black, especially African Americans. There's nothing that attracts us to TV more than family shows.
Okay. Indy, you're the executive producer on this joint. I gotta let you weigh in on that same question, because you have to have the energy to spark it and push it and get others to believe in the concept, the investors and the studios and things like that. What do you think? What were you able to take from the audience loyalty data and say, hey, we need to bring this back and get it green?
You know what? Piggybacking on what Carl said, first of all, it's the writing. Carl is a New York Times bestselling author, and no one tells stories better. Secondly, it's definitely Trey bringing that vision to pass. And then thirdly, we have the best cast and crew in the world, bar none, bar none. And to be able to tell the story of, it's like Carl said, it's not just the mafia, but it's really the family, the loyalty, the beauty in our culture, the richness, the sophistication, the power. All those things are what makes people come back over and over and over again. It just resonates to our audience, and we're blessed every day. And I think you feel that blessing, that family, that culture, even on screen, because off screen we have it for each other, that mutual respect, to be able to work with Ernie Hudson, Valerie Pettiford, Javicia, Darren, Sean. I mean, and the list just, Tammy Roman, Lisa Ray, the list just goes on.
Michael Jai White.
Michael Jai White, Yachty, Emilio. I mean, we are working with the best of the best, and we make new stars every day on our show. And it's just been a blessing. And I think the audience, feels that energy, that power, that richness. And I mean, somebody hit me up today and it was just like, the show is so beautiful. Not just, the storytelling. Carl gonna give you surprise every day. Every day, all day. When you think it's going left, it's going right. But the way that our actors tell that story, the way that our set designer does, I mean, like you said, the boats, the yachts, we don't leave anything on the table. We really give excellence in everything we do, and it's an honor to work with this team.
We're talking about, before I get to you, Trey, we're talking about the mafia concept, and how the street cats take the mafia names. For me, what made me smile the biggest was Mr. Hudson being the head of an international family with people from different countries and races, to see a brother at the head of the table and that family calling the shots.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, that's important to us. Carl and I talk about it every day. Like a lot of shows approach it from just Black on Black crime, and that's not what we're doing here. We're talking about international power, and it's fun.
Now, Trey, Mr. Haley, you are the one who translates the words and the script onto this blank canvas and slap the strokes on there, tell the DP, no, I don't want it like that. I need to have this, et cetera, et cetera. What is the most fun for you in making that translation happen? And then what kind of direction do you take from the feedback that you get from the audiences who are saying, oh, wow, that was really great. I know social media and the reviews. I'm worried about the Hollywood Reporter. Let's talk about the Hood Reporter saying, oh, man, you feel me? This is the way we see it, Mr. Haley.
Yeah. No, you know what, man? I enjoy the whole process of creating, from script to post. I love the magic of it all. So, as a director, you have to be able to see and convey to the whole team where you're going with this when you're making these decisions. You're talking to, even with Carl's vision, Indy has a lot of great creative ideas, and it's a very collaborative set, and we keep it that way. And I love hearing other people's opinions because I'm only can be me, and then there's your actors come sometimes with a great idea. A PA may come with a great idea. There is not one, I started as a PA, man. So I respect the whole, from the Rudy to the Tootie, so they say, you know what I'm saying? but I think that's where you get creative genius from, is being able to be open to that, and Carl, understanding the book and understanding how to translate a book to the screen, to the small screen, and make sure that the audience still gets it. For me, I don't necessarily lean so much to the audience's perspective, more so than understanding what where the creative element from Carl is, because I think Carl is connected to his audience very well. Mm-hmm. So I know if I lean into it with him, Indy is very connected with the storylines and understanding where Carl is trying to go with this. And for me, it's to be open to bring it all together for everybody, Mm-hmm. And I mean, yes, I have ideas. I come in and do all the things the director's supposed to do, but I'm also very open to making sure that I'm not so closed-minded to not hearing what other people's perspective, to make sure that I'm not so locked in that I'm not like blind to other, perspectives, is what I'm saying. And yeah.
Okay, I understand. I mean, with so much going on, there are opportunities. And okay, so how many units you have? The second unit director, just that. How many things are going on? How many elements are going on at the same time that you're maybe overseeing, or as the director? The buck stops
it's a
with
lot
you,
going
right?
on. Most people think a director just says action and works with the actors.
Right.
Let me tell you this: the moment a person tells you that that's all they do, don't hire them. Okay, because that is far from what a director has to do. A director also is a manager of personalities, of departments, of understanding the producing department, understanding time management, understanding how to, in the end of the day, if the makeup, if wardrobe, if somebody shows up late, if a light goes down, that's part of the life. It's up to the director to get the end of the day, make sure the day is done, make sure that everything is taken care of. So you have to adjust shots. You have to be able to constantly be on the move and adjusting to the personalities of the actors, adjusting to making sure that your EPs and your showrunner are getting what they need. At the same time, Carl is getting what his need. And then you have an actor saying they want something the total opposite of maybe what Carl wants. And you're like right in the middle. And it's like, good guy, what am I, you gotta, and then you have to have they can't feel it. I always tell them they can't feel, if you're going through, you have to be locked in, cool, calm, and collective, and be able to adjust in the moments and make fast, clear decisions.
Coming together for this season was certainly like a family reunion, with all the amazing actors and the staff and the production. How long did it take y'all to get past the, oh my God, good to see you, and the pranks and that part, to get serious to discussing and pushing forward this new plot development? I was shocked. I didn't, and I don't know if, I guess I could say it now, right? Because it's already aired, but I didn't expect for Junior to be I was like, what? What's going down? So the plot development, it's real thrilling. I don't want to ruin anything in advance. Anything that's G16 classified, we can leave it right there for right now. But with all the upcoming plot twists and family conflicts, can you give us a little expanded vision of what's going to happen for the Duncan family this season?
Well, I guess the best way to say it is it's the beginning of civil war.
Indeed.
I mean, you got two elements of a family going at each other. We put a lot of stock in Sean Ringo this season, and the seasons to come. I mean, he's got to carry being the enemy when he was the favorite son. That's a lot of pressure on him. But at the same time, we believe that he can step up to it, and make it interesting. And but by putting Lisa Ray as his right hand, or maybe he's her right hand, depending on how you look at it, it's going to be a real interesting season. And we have a lot of surprises. I will say one thing: there's going to be a new member of the family.
Mm, okay.
I'm not going to say, who's pregnant or who may have been pregnant or anything like that, but there's a lot of interesting things that are going to happen. And, like I said, we're still family business, but there's going to be a lot more drama by the time this season is over.
Family business, it was wild because there's a new member at the seat, that's got a new seat. And so not only is LC got something going on, but one of the other family council members is now his sister is sitting in a seat. I don't know if that's out there, but I saw it because y'all sent it to me.
It was the first episode, so
Okay, awesome.
You're not spoiling anything for
I'm
those
not
who
violating.
have watched at least that episode.
I really felt that because I was raised with 9 sisters and a mother, and it's impactful when you think that you're making a decision or that you have entered an exclusive club and your sister sits down as your equal and as an important part of what's going on. You have to sit back and go, So respecting the female is a big thing for me. And
it's a big thing, Jerry. It's a big thing for us too.
Okay.
That's one of the things when Carl, who his company is Urban Books, and Tridestin Studios is Trey and I and myself company as well. But that was a really big thing for us to make sure that the women were as powerful as the men. And I think we've accomplished that on this show. It's always important, like Javicia's character Paris. Everywhere we go, people are talking about Paris, and people are talking about Chippy just as much they're talking about Elsie in Vegas, and that was intentional for us. I think as a community, we're very powerful, and we don't always get to see that in our shows. Sometimes, we're the victim, or we're the servant, or we're the host. But in this show, you definitely feel the royalty in the building, and on so many different cultural levels, which was intentional as well.
And going back to this mafia aspect of it, I think Harris and Chippy have pulled the trigger more than Vegas and LC combined.
The real meaning of the gangster boy.
Yeah,
We'll say this,
and Tammy, and
Tammy
Lisa
Roman.
Ray. This season, you're about to see some real female power as well as male power. I mean, that's the thing for us, just making sure that everyone knows how powerful we are as a community, and how respected we should be. And if they don't know, they about to know.
I will tell you, I will give you another thing that I can tell you, a little drop that I think is not a big secret, but it's something people can look forward in this season, is you're going to find out, because if you've seen the end of season 4, now you know the story about Junior not being the son and all of this.
Yeah.
You will get a chance to find out how Elsie and Chippy met, and how Donna and all that. So we have the younger versions of them this season, in the whole beginning.
Yes.
The worlds coming together. So now it'll start to be like, if you didn't understand, now you're about to find out all of that. Now that's something to look forward to find out, to see how it all came together.
That backstory is huge.
Yes.
Yeah. And one thing that we did this season too, which is really great, is Trey has a protege, Veronica Nichols, and we actually brought on a female director to direct 2 of the episodes. And that's historical for us. So that was fun as well.
Yes.
Tridestin's the leader for over 20 years that I personally know of.
Yes, yes.
You know, I
And,
I absolutely love it. I absolutely
and
love
now partner with Carl Weber is just as the crew says, higher. We just
it. Hey.
yes, it's
When
been
I'm
amazing,
like,
amazing dream come true.
it wasn't until they sent the pitch that I even knew that it was a crime story book series. So now I've got to go buy the book series so I can have it, so I could be valid. I could have my certificate of validation as a fan of the
But
series.
I definitely want you to buy the books. I mean, my mortgage company appreciates that highly. However,
I understand that.
Yeah.
however, we got a really special book coming out in September.
Okay.
Um, and I'm not trying to get off the track of Family Business 5, but we have a really special book coming out. It's Family Business 7, but it's the base story for our new spinoff.
No, I was going to ask that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, and it's about the Duncans of New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got some real special surprises for folks.
Ooh, you heard it here first on the Hype Magazine. That's all I can say. I don't know if you talked about it before to anybody else, but I'm gonna claim it. If it's a lie, I'm gonna stick with it. Well,
I think
y'all,
it's the first time we talked about it
there it
as a
is. There
group.
it is. There.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
I'm loving it. Guest stars, y'all pulled out the original Aquaman, Patrick Duffy.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That
The,
was fun. That was fun for us because, like Carl said, we've been fans of Dallas, as little kids. I remember just running in there to my mama and her saying, "What's going on with JR and Bobby?" And all. So to be able to get, someone of his caliber to play opposite of Ernie and to, for them to go back and forth, it was just amazing to watch. And one thing about our show, like we survived the pandemic, we survived a strike, we survived. So it's like when we get together and we get to play, we play hard.
Yep.
And to be able to hire the world's best talent and our icons that everyone knows, it's just been amazing. Like we are kids in the candy shop ourselves, and we have so much fun every day. And he was amazing. He was amazing to work with too.
mm-hmm.
He was everything you would think he would be.
Really,
Yeah.
I know he's got levels and layers and some nuances. I've watched him in different, you know, productions over the years, and I'm going. For me, not being an actor or someone who evaluates talent, but just for enjoyment as a layperson, I'm going them horrible gills and fins that he was wearing to Dallas to now coming on to the family business, which is serious business, me. And then I've seen him on some Hallmark shows and things like that. The more
He's the original good guy.
mm-hmm.
He's playing one hell of a bad guy.
Man.
Yes. Yeah.
You get an opportunity to explore the other side of himself. You know what they say, the drunk person is the real person that you've given him an opportunity to explore that part. Maybe, you gave him enough margaritas that he could come out there and, in the writing, it's addictive. It's
Yes.
releases the inhibitions. I can only imagine what it's like to just, have someone say, okay, just release everything that you've, been bound by, and here's your opportunity to add some strokes to this masterpiece on this canvas. And we're looking forward to seeing how you make it pop. So great guest stars, Christian Keys, Ron Riacco Lee, Don Stark, Patrick Duffy. How do you choose these actors? And what we already know what unique elements Patrick Duffy brings, but I'm not familiar with the other co-stars. What is it that you look for when you're casting? And anybody can answer. I just want to figure it out.
Let me just chime in on this.
Yes, sir.
We have probably the most unique casting thought process that there is. I mean, um, I'll sit there and say, well, I got this, and then Indy will bring up a name, and then Trey will bring up a name, and we between the three of us, we'll bounce back until we all look at each other and kind of go, that's it.
Mm.
And once we get there, it's kind of hard to change our minds as a team.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I give all credit to Trey. I don't know if I can even say this word, but he pulls a lot. He pulls some interesting stuff out of his rear.
Rabbit out the hat.
This show is an adult show. You may feel free to emphasize and add exclamations as needed.
The guy pulls some stuff out his ass that I'll be like, oh, where did he come up with that one from? He definitely, and this is one of the things I love about him. He definitely has an idea of people that he wants to work with, and sometimes he holds back from me. He'll be in his mind, that person won't be ready, or that person won't fit that particular thought process. He play, for a guy that doesn't play chess, he plays a lot of chess with me with this kind of stuff. You see him smirking over there, right?
Right.
but he does it so good that you can't even get mad at him.
And we do have
to. He's being kind. First of all, it's always collaborative. Once again, right. Once again, you have to work with everyone. Sometimes the network may throw someone at us. Hey, Indy, one time when we were thinking about even New Orleans, and we were thinking about who was going to play Shirley, and we were just going through ideas. It was Indy who came up with the idea of Lela Rashawn. That was Indy's idea. That wasn't my idea. But you know what? I will say this. I do think we push each other. I think I like to push us to just keep diversifying the cast, and because there are so many dynamic actors in Hollywood that do not get roles. If we want, I love working with the same people, but I feel like you also got to give people these. There are people sitting there, talented people sitting here looking for jobs, and we are in a position to do this. We are in a position.
Now,
that a lot of people
let me give a little credit to the young lady to my left here.
Yes.
She's taught me something because, I'm the newbie here, so she's taught me that putting together a television show or a movie, and Trey's done a lot of this too, is more like putting together a sports team than anybody would ever think. The chemistry has to be right. And sometimes you can pick somebody and go, whoa, okay, we got to pick this person to balance that person out. And, and as a team, like you said, it is a collaboration, but they both have very unique and awesome skills in this particular area. And then when you take somebody like me, again, I'm the newbie here. I just know what I like.
That's the truth. Amen. And I have to thank BET for giving us the autonomy. Like you said, we have been in this business for over 25 years, and we've seen the actors up close. We've seen them when we were doing independent films. While we were coming up, they were coming up. We've been able to touch them. So we know we like to pick people that are not only good actors, but good human beings. And that's a blessing to be able to work with people that you actually like, that you actually respect, that you feel have something to contribute to the world more than just, their God-given talent, but they're just good human beings and good spirits, and they bring good energy. There's no one like Valerie Pettiford. When she walks in the room, the sun, the shine that she puts on us. No one like Ernie Hudson. His leadership, he's just so royal. And so to the other actors on the set, it's like it sets the tone of what we're doing here, And that's important to us too. Like if we find out that somebody's not a nice person, honestly, it's a bullet to their head. You know what I'm saying? It's that serious on our set. Like, we want to give the world our best. And part of that is also being the best, and it's just an honor to be able to be in this position, to have this kind of power for the network to back us up in that way, where we're able to cast the best of the best and hire the best crew, the best color timers, the foundation, every aspect of it. We don't take it lightly, especially Carl and I being showrunners and Trey being our EP alongside Ernie Hudson and our whole team at BET. One thing that we set, and I think that's why we're here a fifth season, is we're like, we got to be great for the world. Like we can't, when we first got in this business, it was like production companies were, people had, it was a block, and for us, it was like, no, we got to be excellent at everything that we do. So that's part of it too. It's not only affected in the casting, but every single person that we hire, from the PA on, like Trey said, from the rooter to the tutor, has to come with their A game to stay here.
The thing that you said about Mr. Hudson, regal, even on the carpets, I don't think I've ever seen that man at full grin or smile. He's like, I may laugh and joke, but I don't play. And this is a serious responsibility.
Yes. My dad, Carl would tell you, my dad would text us and let us know, even if you like, even little nuances that Carl may put into the show, like somebody's buying stocks or, just those little things that we do every day, but you don't get to see us doing it every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's those things are equally important to us as the mafia and the drama and all that, making sure that people see us in an authentic and true and rich way is everything to us.
Yeah, those dinner table conversations that they accuse us of not having are included. And and I like that they're in your face conversations, not metaphorical conversations. Oh, well, buy the block, No.
Yes.
And as I've done some research, when they're doing actually showing the methodologies on how to get things done are slid into the script. I think that's so smooth and brilliant. It's more than entertaining to me. And I'm 61 years old. I'm a pretty serious cat. And I'm looking at it, I'm going, how can I take some of this and make it interesting enough for my 16-year-old daughter? My last contribution, how can I teach her? And, she picks up really fast and she takes the things seriously. So I make notes, and this is crazy for people to say, oh, but this art that you put together is actually presenting life, not an imitation of life. It's presenting elements of life with an entertainment value and some mystery and some drama, wrapped around it. So for me, in my, layperson's perception, there are nuggets there are gems there that can be taken into real life and shared in a way that's not, overwhelming or overly authoritative. You will do this. You know what? Here's an opportunity to do this, but have you thought about boom, 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 and this can happen. A success story from that is that this child started her own nail salon next to my office here in the house. She taught herself. She won't let me help with marketing. She won't let me help with media, nothing. I don't want anything from you.
I love that.
I need a new ultraviolet lamp for the nail. I could help with the supply side, but everything else.
You know what, Jerry? I'm gonna be honest with you. My mom and dad sacrificed so much for us when we first started, and Carl does the same thing for his kids, and and Trey's mom and dad. It's like those are the things that we have to do. We have to believe in our children. We have to believe in our legacy. And I think, that's one of the things Ernie recently said, with this show. It's like, at the end of the day, it's about how do we protect, how do we evolve, how do we grow as a community, as a people. And this show, it's sprinkled with all the drama, sprinkled with all the, Javicia, everybody running and the guns and the all the things that a 007 or a drama or mafia will bring you. But at the end of the day, it's those family values, that family loyalty, that family belief in one another. That's the thing that I think people connect with the most.
I would agree. I mean, the detritus from that world is there, but from it, there are some core principles that can be applied, and that is loyalty, integrity, doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Because as on the battlefield, what you do affects the person on the left of you and the person on the right of you, and your downline when you're downrange, right?
Mm-hmm.
At home, it's the same thing on family. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, the economics of my household
Yes.
are affected. My wife's ability to, feel comfortable, safe, my daughter's ability to feel comfortable and safe and trust that as a family unit, we're going to be able to move forward.
Yes.
Like
That's,
the Trojans.
that's what it's about.
Shield, shoulder to shoulder, you know what I mean?
Yes. Protection and honor.
Yes, ma'am. I love it. So, okay, I can do the fanboy thing all the time. Trey, I got to ask you about your directorial vision. How do you keep it together episode to episode? I know there's somebody who's, working on continuity, and there's somebody who's, on the storyline and these fine details. But as the I don't want to even use that word, overseer, but the project manager on site, how do you take the dots, the X's and O's, and make it pop?
Yeah.
Is that a good question?
I do understand where you're coming from.
Right.
One of my an element to me that, every director has their thing, right? Well, I also come from a post-production kind of background. Editing is a really good, strong suit of mine. So I am really good at keeping up with the cuts and how this thing is going to move. I work really, I'm really involved in the post-production side of this with Carl, and and I mean we have a whole process in our post-production sessions. But my editor that we work with, MJ Whitaker, or we work with different people. David, there was a gentleman named David Impetor. He was involved on this one. But we have different editors that are they're glued into the vision, along with people, as far as with the music and all that kind of stuff. But vision, as far as our actors, they know where they got to go. They know what they got to do. They know their characters. And now it's just about keeping the pace and keeping to the tone of the story. As long as you stay with that. And then Veronica, who's our new director on set, same thing. Normally, on TV show, once you've established that the heartbeat, so to say, of the show, it's kind of easy to just kind of stick with it. So it's once again, that's in a collaboration element. Once as showrunners and the director get together and they say, this is the style and the flavor of the show. Just like when you watch Black Hamptons, we always say Black Hamptons, we want to take you on a vacation. We want it to have a good time feel, very bright, beautiful, light drama, but light, fun, and sexy show. This show has a little edge to it, but still a warmth of family, a tone to it that doesn't go so crazy. I mean, obviously we got some shooting and all that kind of stuff, but still there's a heartbeat of family in this. So we also keep the tone of the actors so they don't go too far outside of the parameters to make it so dangerous where a family could never necessarily watch this together as well. We want the family to still watch it. Editing wise, the shots, we still want the shots, our same DP, Ken Stike, amazing DP. He understands color tones and he understands we work like he just knows my mind, how I'm going to go with this. And it's really just setting the pace and making sure that we keep to the tone of family with a little danger, but a little edge, but we don't want to go too far. And like you said, it's plays in that space like how you saw Dallas and shows like that, where a whole family could watch Dallas with all of that going on, but it wasn't like oh my God, I can't have my kids watch this, you know?
Right.
So yeah, it's I know where you're going with it, but I think with the editing and the pacing and all of that, it allows me to move in a way where I can keep it consistent with everything we're trying to do. Yeah.
And let me just cut in and say something about it.
Yes, sir.
We'll be there shooting, and Trey will say something like, "I just need you to trust me on this one." He has all these shots in his head, all of them. And then when we get into the room and we start to edit, he'll be like, "No, no, 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 no. I shot it this way for this reason. Watch this," and it all comes together, man. It's like it's like listening to the symphony. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. And it's beautiful even from a showrunner point of view. No one is like Trey as a director. Like he really gets the mindset of writer, the creator, Carl, but then he gets the mindset of each one of those actors that he touches. Because sometimes they'll come in and they'll have, done their homework and worked it a certain way, but he knows the other actor works it a different way. And Trey is somehow able to take everybody's mindset, everybody's vision, and everyone walks away like a winner. Like nobody feels like they lost in the way that he brings it to the table, including, me and Carl's showrunners, who at the end of the day, we got to make our day. We got to, we're about the logistics of things, and we got to stay on budget, and we got to do it this way. And, and Trey's able to make it huge, make it big, to oversee we have the best glam squad, the Ronnie, who does our wardrobe, Gayla, who does our hair, and all of our makeup artists, Louise. And Trey and Myra, who does set design. Trey has to take all these different beautiful minds and hear them, and then put it all together and go for it. So I've never seen, it's an honor to work with Trey. I've never seen any other director do all that and still hear Carl and I in the background saying, "But we want this too," and give it to us.
And let me just give, Trey, it's not your birthday, but let me just give him just a little bit more credit on one thing. How many people do you know that out of 10 episodes, direct 8 of them? And this is the first year he directed 8. Usually he directs 10.
And 12, season 2 and season 3 was 12 episodes. Every single one.
I directed every episode up until Veronica started directing, and she did this year on this one. I think she did one. Did she do one last
one
season?
on Black Hamptons.
On Black Hamptons. Yeah, so but I treat it like, I look at all the scripts as one big movie. I know where the in and out. I know how you go in and out of each episode, but I have to look at it like a big super mini series type vision, and and with the editing background, that's where it all comes in, because we can know the ins and outs, where we got to go out of that 40, the end of the episode has to, have that dramatic moment there, and
those cliffhangers.
Yes. Cliffhangers.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's
cliffhangers.
intentional too.
But I can trust on that, because guess what? It's in the writing. It's already there. So all I got to do is follow the script. It's there.
Yeah. But that's one of the things that people do say about our show, like talking to people. We're able to, go to different cities, and they'll say the show feels like TV meets film. And I think that's because of having Trey and Ken Stipe, our DP, having that film background. We're able to bring those cinematic elements to the show too.
It's definitely deeper than television, I when you talk about depth, it's a journey, and you hit these benchmarks, and you deposit us safely at the end on each episode. At the same time, we're leaning forward, foaming at the mouth, like, what's next, right? My fantasy is that we talk about the family business, and we hear them on, Hip Hop Nation and the Heat and all that, talking about the family business every week, the same way they were talking about Empire, the same way they talk about those other shows. I freaking want this conversation, and I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna talk bad about everybody who's not talking about the family business. I'm gonna talk bad about y'all. Y'all don't get on board. Look, you don't want to mess with me. I did learn how to do much better than when Indy gave me my first start, and I'm a dangerous dude with the pen. If you're not doing more than clickbait, if you're not having conversations, and look at the nuggets that they dropped about the character development and the cultural impact that they're trying to have throughout the stories. You know, this is based on a New York Times best-selling crime drama book series, you know, from the mind of a genius, you know, to paint those stories in a fashion that's just as impactful as, you know, The Studio by Matisse or, you know, a Gauguin, a Renoir. It's here in front of your eyes, and you're just like, man. So I can't wait to buy the series so that I can actually, you know, catch up and maybe understand what is inside the bones of Carl Weber and what, you know, drove him to do this. This is powerful. This is powerful. We're taking our spot. When Mr. Johnson made his financial decision all those years ago with Viacom, I was like, man, I understand the bread, but what are we giving up? But we got Tridestin has stepped up to the plate and changed the dynamic of BET. I'm going to give you that credit because the family business, you know, look, we all know what happened, you know, when those not indoctrinated with the uniform got to start running things. And then there had to be a correction of course. Yes. And here we are now, you know, season 5, solidly ensconced in, you know, the annals of BET history and making a difference and celebrating not only Black, but Black and brown. I add that because as we celebrate, or y'all, whoever celebrated this other day, right? I would like to remind that the faces that they've added, Emilio and those, right? That country was the first country in North America to offer sanctuary to escaped slaves. So for a Black man to be including people from the continent who rocked with us before all the nonsense on screen and being celebrated this way on screen is another nugget that maybe people didn't think about when it was happening. But I'm here. I respect your time. I know you got to make your day. I just learned a new term. I know you have things. You can't sit here and talk to me all day and hear me gush and all that good stuff. Is there anything that any of you wanted to cover that I may have neglected? I know you've done a lot of media and, you know, everybody has their angle, but maybe in consideration of that last question, is there a question that we in the media have failed to ask that you wanted to address as regards this project?
Well, we just want everybody to look to the future. You know, we've been blessed with family business. We've completed season 2 of the Black Hamptons. Looking forward to a season 3. And like we said, we were blessed to be given a spin-off of Family Business New Orleans. And we're just going to try to add to this to this run that we have, and we're talking to the network about a few other things. So we're really excited about the future. So when you hear Tridestin, when you hear Carl Weber, know that we're moving along, and we've got some really big things ahead.
Amen.
I would say too, I think Indy would agree, and Carl. I want to think a lot of people don't realize the kind of stepping on what you were saying about BET. When we first started this, there were other networks that wanted this show that we're in talks with, and they were interested in this, and they wanted to go some other directions with this. But BET, asked us, are these the actors that are attached to this show and are they a part of it? Are they down with y'all? And we said yes. And for them to stick with us and want us to give us the vision that we had from the beginning and stay with us as partners all the way to today. I mean, there's a lot of shows that go through BET, and for them to stick with us and believe in this show like this, that's a testament to them too and their belief in us, but also the belief and understanding the value it brings to the network as well. And I want to thank them for just trusting in us, believing in us, and sticking with us with this, the Black Hamptons, and obviously Family Business season, the new Family Business New Orleans. Now we have a whole nother universe that we've created. It's just, I just want to say, I think people should give a lot more credit to BT for that belief in us, because like I said, they told us, unlike some other networks that people could have said, why didn't you put it over there? But if you would have put it over there, I promise you it wouldn't be here today, and they said, you do you. And that was powerful.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to put them down.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't though.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, I want you to know that on the other side of that coin, I mean, I get where you were coming from, and you definitely had some points there. I mean, I'm just wanting you to know too that on top of that, we are here today, 5 seasons in. Truth be told, I don't think we would have gone anywhere else. We would be there. We would be here right now because they gave us some autonomy and some opportunity that a lot of people cannot get in this business. And so I do want to thank them for that part too.
Yep. During some very rough times too. I mean, we went through a pandemic. We went through a strike, 2 strikes actually. So during that period of time, they've been there for us, and I mean, I guess we're all living on the fruits of the decisions that we've all made.
Yeah, because I will tell you this, Jerry. Maureen, who is now in heaven, and Connie, they walked into our office, and they came and they looked for us, and they said, we love what you guys are doing, and we want to give you guys the ability to shine as well. And from Maureen to Courtney to Larissa to John, I have to name the names, to Michael, to Rose Catherine, to Michelle. It's so many people over at BET that, we were little independent filmmakers, and Carl was like a big New York Times bestseller, but they heard our voice and they gave us the power to speak, to show the world who we are. So it's like, we honor them. We thank them. We thank once again, we thank our parents. There's so many people that made sacrifices for us to be here. And therefore we make those same sacrifices, for our cast and our crew to be here. And Jerry, this interview has been so 360 for me too. And I thank you, for giving us this platform, for seeing our show for what it really is, all the layers, all the intentional things that we did, like you said, and not just an African-American show, but a very culturally dynamic, multi-generational show that's reflecting us in such an authentic way that, is on an international level. We have our fans and our friends and our family that support us, and there's no limits. There's no limits to what we're doing, and we have the power to do. And we thank God every day for that power.
All right. I thank you so much. Thank you, BET. Y'all don't be mad at me. I just had to get that off my chest. No. I'm very happy. So y'all can stay tuned for me to be running my mouth. I'm going to start the conversation. If y'all don't have the conversation, I'm going to kick it off on the hype.
Amen.
We're going to talk about this show every week after every episode.
And we hype about it. So.
Right. I sure appreciate it. So the Family Business has its own social media.
Family Business BET.
Family Business BET. And not
only
you
can follow Carl Weber on, Carl Weber on Instagram, but Facebook. Carl, you can tell him
I am Carl Weber.
I am Carl Weber on Facebook. He's active. Carl Weber is active there, guys.
Okay.
Very active.
And y'all can check us out, the Hype Magazine, everywhere. I'm Jerry Dobie _ everywhere. I will be running my mouth about it. Check me out on TikTok
you.
Live. It's going to be a family business conversation.
Thank you.
Promise.
Appreciate
All
you,
right.
brother.
All right. I'm honored. Until next time. Thank
All
you.
right.
Amen.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
As an artist, we should reflect the time.
Why you so talented?
Cause I'm black.
Why you so amazing?
Cause I'm black.
Really important that we build characters so that people understand their story matters.
2 Chainz and I both are just really into good food.
And when you know you are royalty, you will only aim in life to be royalty.
We're doing it right now. I don't give a damn what they say about me. Yes, I called your ass out. I know I shouldn't be saying this kind of.
Shout out to Hype Magazine Network.
Shout out to the Hype Magazine Network.